Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, we're wiggling and waggling in the area known as Anavargos in downtown Paphos, and we're heading towards Paya. That's where we're actually going. And for those of you who follow the channel, you understand that we do go to Paya quite often. So we're going to go and try and rescue Miss Linda H and her partner in crime, Mr. Julian. Only joking, but a very, very good morning to you both. They're up in Paya and they're trapped in Paya because the roads around Paya have all been big digged. In other words, they're all dug up. So they haven't managed to find their way back down to civilization in Lower Paya, shall we say. They obviously live in Upper Paya somewhere. So here's the fun and games of Marika and me. That's what you're watching, by the way. The channel is called Marika and Me. We actually have our own website as well, marikaandme.com, and you're welcome to go on there and chat with some of the family members, and of course send one or two pictures up and upload them, and we get to see who you are, or perhaps pictures of sunsets like Mr. Andy has sent, or something like that. But if you want to upload some photos to the site, marikaandme.com, please do. So, where are we now? Well, we're heading towards the intersection. That's an American word, isn't it? But the crossroads, if you understand me, where, should we say, well, the place known as Hell, where you head down towards the old town, and the place known as Masuyu Avenue join. So at this traffic light, it's not this one, this is like a little crossroads traffic, but at the main traffic light's just over there, as you can see. Yes, here. We're going to go straight, by the way, but if you were to go down, you would go and work your way through the area known as Hell, and of course down towards the old town. And if you were to go to the right, you would go up Masuyu Avenue. But we're going to go straight over, which most people would say is in the direction of Tala, which it is. Tala, Ember and the Clorica area. So we're actually cutting through, if you understand me. Why are we using this route? Because at this time of day, as you can probably notice, there is quite a lot of traffic around, and most people just stick to the main thoroughfares, and of course that causes a lot of congestion. So I know the roads pretty well, and hopefully you are learning them slowly. So we're going to cut across and hopefully not get stuck in a traffic jam, because we understand that we don't want to be like Miss Dizzy Blonde who gets stuck on the M62 as she races in and around Manchester. So there we go. Sit with us, sit back and relax. We're in the Breakfast Club, by the way, with Mr. Paul, which means there's 3 superstars in the lounge bar. They're in charge of pretty much all of the operations, and their names are the Dolly Bird, the most beautiful woman from Manchester, and of course her name is Miss Vivian. We've also got Miss Nessie. She's a superstar amongst superstars, and of course we've got the most beautiful woman all the way from downtown Frodsham, and of course her name is Miss Beverly. So welcome to the team, and of course running around taking the orders and doing all the deliveries, we have the one and only superstar, the man who likes to watch the sun glisten on the blue Mediterranean Sea, and of course his name is Lord Dave Jono. But don't take any lip off Jono. He's a little bit stropsy mopsy. I think those are the words we're going to say. He likes to he likes to mosey. He likes to be a bit lazy. He doesn't like to do that much because he's he's a wealthy man, and he's sort of semi-retired and likes to do a little bit of the old horse racing gambling, and more often than not he does win, as Miss Andrea from Miss Andrea Mart fame found. He gave her a hot tip, and guess what? He won. So now she's sitting there and wondering what's going to happen on Saturday. Can she get some more tips off him? But of course, most people understand with horse racing and that kind of thing, you know, you can be very, very lucky, but please be very careful. Don't gamble money that you can't afford, because again, more often than not, people do lose. And that's not an insult to Dave, but more often than not, most people do lose. I've never met a poor bookie, that's for sure. So that tells you something, doesn't it? There's much less of them and much more of us, and we're all poor and they're all rich. So again, like I said, that tells you something. Now we're heading towards one of the main feed roads that would take you from Tala down towards the old town, or down towards the area known as Uptown Clorica. I haven't decided yet at the crossroads which way we're going to go, so we're going to play a little bit of the old Guessy Mosey. Which way's Mr. Paul going to go when he gets to the end of this road? Not sure. Anyway, let's go and check in again with the breakfast crew. Let's go and see who's on the sofas today. Well, we know there's a permanent resident, the girl in charge of pretty much everything on the channel, known as Marika and Me. And of course, her name is the one and only Dame Anne. I think we'll go left. Here we are. We're going to go left. and we will wiggle our way down, and then we're going to go right a bit further down here, and we'll be in uptown Clorica, if you understand me. So, slowly but surely, you are going to learn the roads in and around Paphos if you continue to ride co-pilot with myself. And talking about co-pilots, my little partner in crime, my little co-pilot, we celebrated his birthday a couple of weeks ago now, Mr. Kenny. He's sitting in the seat right next to me, and he's telling me which way to go, you see. That's why there's a little bit of indecisiveness, because he doesn't know the roads that well. But he said, take a left there. He's going to say, take a right just down here. Aren't you, Mr. Kenny? Yes? Yes, there we are. How's your mum doing? Yes? Is Nicole all right? Yes? Good. How's your dad? How's Mr. Paul? Is he all right? Yes, he's all right as well. So, here we go. We're going to take a right just down here. And so far, so good. As you may have noticed, we have not got ourselves stuck into a traffic jam yet. So keep wishing us luck, because like I say, we're off to Paya. And at this time of day, especially in the area of Paphos, it can be quite congested as people, well, they've gone to work and now the reps are all out doing their running around, and you've got the parts suppliers rushing around, and you've got the police rushing around from frappe shop to frappe shop, and now they're rapidly thinking about getting a pork kebab for lunch, and you know, all those kind of things. And you've got the mayor, he's parking his car on W lines, and he's thinking about what he's going to do in the Paphos Promenade and the Paphos Harbour, and then he understands that the president of the country has now left a vacancy, so perhaps he could run for the deputy leader of the Deco party, and then perhaps he could become the leader of the Deco party, and then perhaps he could become the president. You see, there's a lot of things going on in downtown Paphos, and these are all the things that are going through all of the people's minds. And just as you may have noticed, the roads are absolutely Sherlock Holmes. It doesn't matter what car you're in, does it? Air suspension, no air suspension, it doesn't make any difference. The roads are absolutely Sherlock Holmes. Now this could be the reason why the man known as the mayor is thinking about leaving and trying to become the president, because he understands that he's getting a lot of stick. That's what he understands. Anyway, he's actually a good guy, by the way. He seems to be a very, very honest man. He's a hard-working man. I see him most mornings at around 7:30. He does start early. The only fault he's got is that he parks his car on W lines, on the double chevrons, just down from a busy junction, just across to a school, just down from a busy traffic light. And why is that? That's because he can't work out how to use the smart app. There we go. So on that note, if you are coming to Paphos and you want to park a car that you may have stolen, rented, perhaps you've got a car, perhaps someone gave you a car. Well, if you want to park it, you need a smart app on your phone, and then you need to have some money on your phone as well. Otherwise, you can't park your car. Well, you can park your car, but then the little boys on the scooters are going to come round and he's going to give you a €30 on the spot fine. So there we go. Learn how to use the app. Or, in our case, get yourself a couple of little scooters and chuck them in the boot, and then park on the outskirts and then whiz in on your scooters. There we are. Free to park a scooter. Right, here we are. Midtown Clorica, SC Motors, and then there's Papa Antonio's Supermarket. This has all been refurbed on the front end, and it's been cleaned up inside as well. You got a takeaway just there, just a nice cooked chicken. And then just over here now, you've got 24/7. That's a British-run security company. So perhaps if you've got an apartment or a villa in Paphos, perhaps you might get in touch with them, because, well, I don't like to say it, but slowly but surely crime is going up. You know, we have to do something at night time, don't we? It can be quite boring in Paphos, especially in the winter season when all the bars and restaurants are closed. So often, myself and Masochi and Krasivi Alaboof pop out in the evening with a balaclava and a rubber mallet, and, you know, we help ourselves to perhaps a smart TV or a tablet or something like that. Anyway, nice church, that's all been refurbed. Don't know what it's called, but it is quite a nice looking church, a friendly looking church, so we say. Now, look at that sky. That sky's blue. The sea is blue, I promise you. When I looked out this morning, it was very, very blue indeed. Mr. Paul, guess what? He's dressed in blue. So all that's actually missing is you. So get yourself on a big bird or a canoe, and why not start paddling like crazy? Because, you know, Cyprus is quite simply waiting for you. That's a spectacular day, isn't it? It really, really is. Now, I normally say, if your name is Miss Dawn and you got a husband called Mr. Sean, you got a cat called Miss Daisy and a dog called Bobo, the temperature today is 21.5 degrees. But of course, I understand that Miss Dawn and Mr. Sean are Chichochka dancing down the downtown Cato Paphos Coastal Pathway on their way to the promenade for breakfast, because they are in downtown Paphos. Daisy and Bobo, well, unfortunately, they've left them up in Derbyshire. So they're probably watching on their well, either Netflix, perhaps this early in the morning, I don't know. But later on, apparently, they're going to be tuned into YouTube. And hopefully, we're going to find Miss Dawn and Mr. Sean. And we're going to go dancing and perhaps have a drink and a scone or something like that. Anyway, this is Uptown Cassoniga. That's where we have entered, Uptown Cassoniga. So we're going to wiggle and waggle through Uptown Cassoniga, and then we're going to drop down towards the main road that links Paphos to Paya. Now, in this area, this village here, very popular with expats, by the way. And again, there's lots of villas to rent in Cassoniga. And there's lots of businesses around. You've got a dance school there, you've got a charity shop, you've got a bakery, you've got a computer shop. There's a supermarket down here, there's a kiosk down here, there's a flower shop just down here, there's restaurants, there's bars, there's cafes, there's a police station. Understand? Pretty much anything you can want is in Cassoniga. And apparently, so they say, that the sunset from the shoreline in Cassoniga is the best sunset in the whole of Paphos. Now, obviously there's different people who would disagree, and there's different people with different opinions, isn't it? I personally would probably say that the person who said that is probably telling the truth. There's something about watching the sun as it glistens and vanishes around the corner of the little piece that sticks out that's called Coral Bay. And Paya, which looks down on Coral Bay, if you understand me, has pretty much sold itself to most expats around the world because of its spectacality of its view and its spectacular sunset. So, if you're looking for the perfect place to see the perfect sunset, probably downtown Cassoniga is the place to go. And there's quite a few people that book into the hotels along that seafront, and it's about 7 or 8 hotels and apartment complexes that are literally stacked up next to each other, so there must be some truth in it, mustn't there? Now we're working our way now towards, well, lower Cassoniga, shall we say. So let's again go and check on the sofas. Let's see who's in town. Now, we mentioned Dame Anne, obviously she's there, but that means sitting next to her has to be the superstar known as Anna Starr, the greatest lawyer in downtown Polis. Polis? What am I talking about? She's coming to Paphos soon, so at the moment she's still in Poland. Anyway, hopefully you haven't got much snow out there, Anna. Hopefully you haven't, because we understand that some of the people in the UK now have had a little bit of a flurry of snow. But I remember when I was in the UK, at this time of year, to be honest, it was common, wasn't it? It was more common to get snow in the first couple of weeks of March than it was to get it in December. Sorry for that speed bump there, Mr. Andy. Anyway, we're working our way down. Very, very shortly, we are going to join the main road from Paphos to Coral Bay. We've got the 2 Ronnies in town, by the way, but that's Viking Ronnie sitting on the left. He's the man in charge of all the tongue twisting. And then you've got the Commissioner of Marika and me, the highest ranking police officer in the world, and his name is Ronnie Miller. Good morning to you guys. Good morning. Get a coffee, come on Dave, get a nice filter coffee for Ronnie Viking, and let's have a nice cup of tea and a rich tea biscuit for the Commissioner. Come on Dave, get moving, otherwise the boys are coming back to town. That's the Lords, the Lord Jeremy and the Lord Simon, and now they have finished their trainee gangstering, and they've got a mallet each, and they're going to come and smack you around the back of the head. So there we are. Look at that for a view. On that note, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, why not hit that like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. Oh no! Now we're in a traffic jam. There you go. There you go, Dizzy Blonde. A traffic jam especially for you as we join the main road from Paphos to Coral Bay. Unbelievable. I've done all that driving all the way from Polis. What's wrong with me today? I'm saying Polis instead of Paphos. All the way from Paphos. We've not got stuck at all, and then we've got to here, and there's at least, what, 8-9 cars. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. We're not even going to get to the traffic lights, because I know that these traffic lights are going to flick after about 4 or 5 cars. But hopefully you can see there is a spectacular view. That sea is looking turquoisey blue, as Marika would say. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour, and it's 9:30 in the morning, and it is 22 degrees. The temperature is slowly going up, and we're only in the 2nd week of March. Wow, what a great place to live. There we go, we've missed the lights. Now we've got to sit here again. Absolutely shocking. Now, if you really want to watch the channel grow, by the way, don't forget to go through to our About page, where you might want to consider to buy us a coffee or two. That's how the channel is funded, and that's what Mr. Kenny is saying as he's sitting next to me. Let's stop at a kiosk and get ourselves a coffee. And there's probably not a better kiosk to stop than just over the road, and it's called the Bayside Kiosk, just at these crossroads. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if you're going to do something naughty, don't forget, more often than not, you will find the Gumbarus in blue sitting in there waiting for you. Thanks for watching. Well, I'm shocked. Sitting at red light after red light. Unbelievable. You never know. We might get to Coral Bay in the next 5 minutes. I'm sure these lights are taking longer than the first time. I'm going to have to get one of those zappers to put on the front that apparently exists, but everyone knows it doesn't actually exist, to switch these lights from green. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. So, finally, we have joined the main road from Paphos to Coral Bay on a truly, truly spectacular day. And I'm going to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, that sky is blue, and that sea is blue. Thanks for watching.